everybody, and welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast on which we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
Now, Joe, you may or may not know this, and the listeners as well. I recently put out a Sickos Year in Review post on the Sickos newsletter, animesickos.substack.com. I know Substack is in there, but it's not racist, and it's not pro-Israel.
About cancel culture. It's there's no grift.
But I put out a year in review thing where I looked at all of our data, our numbers, our stats for 2021, and to my astonishment, like the top episode of the year by like a healthy margin was Great Moments in Posting History, which was an episode we did when we couldn't think of anything and we're feeling like we're in a rut. We really can't think of any good episode ideas. We're really in the low point of the Anime Sickos journey. Oof, we got nothing. Let's just read a bunch of posts other people wrote. That's so lazy. No one's gonna like that. Well, guess what? People fucking can't stand hearing us talking about anything else.
This type of episode format, I am calling the zoo, which is you just kind of like walk around and then you point at some weird shit someone said on the internet, and you go, "Wow," and then you just keep walking.
Yep. It's a zoo / museum. Like, yeah, here's what it is. You go to like the Museum of Culture, where there's like the great works of art of human history that like make you look at the glory and wonder of human existence and consciousness, and you sort of feel spiritually nourished. And then there's like a beaded curtain with like a seedy guy standing next to it, and he's like, "Hey, do you wanna see some weird shit? Come in here." And then you go through the beaded curtain, and it's dark in there, and it's an unlicensed zoo, and it smells terrible, and there's weird animals you've never imagined, and you get to throw things at them.
Yeah, and all the informational like exhibit info is deranged. You get all the accompanying context of all of the posts to be like, so this woman thought she was over white man's entitlement, so she didn't care that a kid got ate by an alligator. That's why she's in here.
Exactly. Yeah, you understand now. So that's what we're doing. That's this episode. We're gonna fucking do that. And Joe, can I start us off with something fun? Something that took over my brain. I shared this joke with you. This is one of the good ones. This isn't like Look at the Freak. This is like look at one of the greatest jokes ever made. I sent you this shit, and like a couple of hours later, I had to get back on Discord to send you a message where I was just like, "Shit, dude, I feel it getting funnier." Like I keep repeating it in my head, and every time it's funnier than before. Like, this sucks. Like, this is gonna become like part of me now.
You can feel the worm getting fatter in your brain.
Yeah, it's like certainly like I know how worms eat my brain, and I know that they like reach equilibrium point where they get full and their bellies are full and they take a nappy and they only wake up later and they get hungry again. This one is just like replacing my brain and then getting bigger than my brain was originally, therefore making me smarter. But only about this shit. So okay, some context on this that really blows my mind. It would be funny enough if this was just what it is, but this is a comic strip, a single panel comic strip drawn by Phil Elverum. Now, Joe, I don't know if you know who Phil Elverum is. He is like the weepiest indie musician who ever lived. Like, he's so sensitive, and he's like a sensitive, emotional folk singer, but he also does freak folk. You heard about that? You heard about freak folk? Sometimes there'd be a big fuzzy guitar in his sad folk song about his feelings.
The only folk modifier I accept is punk, and I don't even like that. Like, that's a bit of a crime.
Yeah, it's just plug your guitars in, fellas. You don't need this acoustic shit. We've invented electricity. Anyway, so okay, this is the saddest man of all time. Like, he put out some extremely miserable records. I don't want to get too into it for like to bring the mood down, but he had an extremely devastating personal tragedy happen to him, and he put out an album that was just him solo with his acoustic guitar, and it was like barely even songs. It was just like him doing like therapy, like mourning really painfully and achingly with like a bit of guitar in the background. The set, like, this
is all new to me. So I know this name is a guy who did a really good goof that I can't stop thinking about. So this is fun.
It's So I came to know this because someone just posted like, man, Phil Elverum's old comics were great. Look at this one. And I'm like, Phil Elverum made comics? And I looked it up, and there's some evidence online, people mentioning like, yeah, Phil Elverum did Undercover. He didn't really publicize it. He was like still focusing on his music. This one panel comic that was really silly. And I'm like, I'm going to go look it up. The website for it is gone. I don't know where they are. So the only place I've been able to find any of his comics are just people sharing screenshots of them. And enough beating around the bush. This is the one. Just the fact that I'm about to say this makes me feel so happy. So we have a single panel, and it's one of the ones where there's like a jaggedy lightning bolt in the middle to indicate that two people are on the phone with each other. Yeah? The guy on the top, starting off the phone conversation, is saying, do you guys have dog trouble? Dog trouble is in quotation marks. The bottom panel is a video store clerk at the video store. You can tell because there's a big shelf of videos and the words video store. And he is surrounded by something like 20 dogs.
There's so many dogs in this video store.
And he just replies, the movie?
It would be a blessing if that was where it ended. But it really... So, the follow-up comic is... the guy who was on the phone is now very old.
Yeah, he has a walker. He's bald and hunched over.
He's at the cemetery at a headstone that says "Video Store Guy," and he says, "I said, do you guys have dog trouble?" At which point, the ghost of the video store guy comes out and asks the movie. Just really committing to the fucking dumb goof.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, when I said I feel it getting funnier, just like I would keep repeating in my head, "Do you guys have dog trouble?" The movie, like the movie. Do you guys have dog? It's just like they do have dog trouble. I can see the dogs.
There's a C-Lab 2021 joke that's kind of similar. Like there's a monster killing everyone on the crew, and Captain Murphy, every time he hears someone say the monster, which at this point is not a surprise because it's killing everyone, he goes, the what? Like every time.
Dude, I'm going to say it again, and it's going to get fun. It's going to be the funniest time I've ever heard it. Do you guys have dog trouble? The movie? And like, this is why he's a genius, because like he recognizes that this joke is so good that just repeating it with no escalation makes it funnier than the previous time. So he's like, what am I going to do for my follow-up? Oh, I'm going to have the guy say, do you guys have dog trouble? And the other guy reply, the movie? Except that now he's dead. And his headstone says, video store guy. Oh, man. Also, this is something we're going to post this fucking image because this is a really underrated part of the joke, which is just the art is extremely amateurish. Like, he is not an artist, he's doodling. But two things.
Yeah, the dogs are like a rat king of dogs.
The dogs, it is just such a chaotic pile of dog. And also the video store guy. So the guy calling on the phone just has two dots for eyes. The video store guy has, the circles with the pupils in them, and his pupils are facing two different ways. It's just the chaotic scene of him truly like wading through a sea of dogs and saying, the movie? With his fucking eyes. Do you guys have dog trouble? Do you guys have dog trouble? And he thinks, because he's picking up this phone, and he's like, to him, there's like a 50% chance that this guy who called the video store just wants to know if they have any dog-based problems, but he's got to do his due diligence and be like, the movie? Fuck.
Yeah. Because, what if the boss found out that you assumed the wrong one, and, it cost them a rental?
But what if it was just like, yo, I just want to chat about the dogs. Do you have any trouble? You do? That's too bad. Oh, fuck. So this one is not as elementally perfect as Do You Guys Have Dog Trouble, the movie. But man, this one's pretty good too. It's another single panel. There's a man with a armful of flyers and a roll of tape who is visiting the antiques store. The man visiting with the flyers says, "Can I hang a poster in your guys' window?" The antiques dealer says, "Sure, Sonny. Can I see what it's for?" To which the man replies, "No. Joe, what is on the flyer?"
The flyer, he's got a stack of flyers that say, "Blowjobs, half price." Wonderful joke. Very stupid. The guy's face is a nightmare. The guy who's hanging the signs, who will not let the message be shown. Awful. He's like a Easter Island head with a really long nose. It's really bad.
So you may recall when we had Casey Green on that the most recent comic that he had posted that we talked about on the show involved one of his little online animals finding a free ticket to the blowjob fair. And he kept being like, "The blowjob fair, dude, that's so fucking good." This is just that same joke again, but
yeah,
it's a good joke, dude.
Like, you extract the sexualness out of it, and you're left with only the funniest like word and action possible. And also in the context of commerce.
Yeah. Do you guys have dog trouble? The movie? Fuck. All right. Well, that's all I got to say about that. It is a stunning comic. I will again be posting this on the Sickos account. You got to see it. You'll really like. All right, Joe. You got one? You got one for me?
I do. This one is a video we will play the audio of, but it is. What do the kids say? Like, this is a mood. Yeah, this is definitely a mood. And what it is it's a child being interviewed on the news.
This, I think, was found by Everything Is Terrible. I think this is one of their like uncoverings, and what a one it is.
The interviewer asked this boy a frankly deranged question, which is, what do you think you'll look like in 1,000 years?
And this is what he says.
What do you think you'll look like 1,000 years from now?
Gray bones in a grave.
What's really special about this is at the end of it, he starts to smile because he's like, "Oh, there's an end to this, huh?" Like, I just realized.
One day I won't be asked this question. Joe, gray bone. The way he hits the B on bones, gray bones in a grave.
He does not hesitate either. Like, it's clearly not just cut to him immediately speaking, because there's a moment of thoughtfulness before he speaks, but it's still pretty quick. It's just like him doing the basic logic, and in his mind's eye, he sees the body decomposing into a bunch of maggots and releasing a bunch of bones, and he's like, "That's me." Okay. And then he tells the guy.
This is a very similar to the previous one we just talked about, in the sense that it's just a handful of words, but they are so beautifully poetic. I said I don't like poems. I do. I like the following two poems. Do you guys have dog trouble? The movie, and gray bones in a grave. Like, he could be like, "What are you going to look like in 1,000 years? A bunch of bones." That would be kind of funny. But
yeah, bones in a grave, not funny. Gray bones, hysterical. It's so funny.
Gray bones in a coffin. That's nice, kid. Gray bones in a grave.
They're loose. They are loose.
Just the fucking, what is this? Assonance, consonants, some sort of nonce is happening with gray and grave. That is fucking. Oh my god, it's so good. And he just comes up with this off the dome. This kid has bars. He's freestyling.
Yeah, and again, the interviewer is a moron. I hope he was like destroyed by this question.
What answer was he expecting? Like, I'm gonna look really strong and cool. Like, no. Okay, I'm trying to piece together what's happening here, because if you look at the beginning, he's holding a photo of a child who looks somewhat like him, but it's very clearly an old-fashioned photo. So I think what it is it's probably like his grandfather or something like that, like an older ancestor.
Right. Yeah, and they're talking about like, "Oh, what are you going to look like in X years?" And for whatever reason, this guy just cranks it up to 11 with 1,000.
Yeah, because it's like, clearly they look similar, And so isn't it unusual that this person that you think is very old looked like you once? What are you gonna look like? Was he like? Yeah, did he goof? Or does he not know? Oh my God, Joe. He doesn't know about the fall of man. He doesn't know about sin.
He's thinking Bible times, like when everyone is 900 years old and they have huge sloping foreheads.
Yeah. He's like, I know my friend Yakub on Patmos. He's been alive for a very long time. He was working on some project. I wonder if that's panned out. Oh my God, Gray Bones in a Grave. This kid owns. I'm going to listen to it again.
What do you think you'll look like 1,000 years from now?
Gray bones in a grave.
Do you think he feels like he's going to get in trouble for it? I think maybe the smile is like him realizing like this is like people are going to talk to me about this. I'm going to get sat down.
I think the smile is also like he is getting to do the fun thing he is about to do is what he's being asked to do.
Yeah.
He's following the rules.
And it's not even like malicious compliance because again, he did say there's no answer to it. What are you going to look like 1,000 years from now?
Kid's right. The guy asking the question looks like an asshole. Because you were supposed the other thing is like this was supposed to be like a gotcha. Like these like entire questions like hinge on like kids kind of say funny things when like they're surprised. They don't have all the information. But no, this kid was ready.
I will be bones. My bones will become gray due to their advanced age. They will not literally be gray, but metaphorically and poetically, they will be gray bones. Where will they be? Folks, the place all dead folk are, the grave. God damn it. This is really good shit. Joe, I think the next one we got to talk about, while we're on like the videos, because we got some videos. Posts aren't always just text. The next one we got is a video that you personally love. I believe it is one of your all-time top pieces of media.
Absolutely.
It is a clip from No Country for Old Men where Anton Chigurh and Llewellyn Moss are talking on the phone. Anton Chigurh has just killed Woody Harrelson, and he is threatening Llewellyn Moss that I'm going to come find you and kill you and take the money that you have because I'm the villain.
This started as a post, so we only have the video now, but like the nugget that led to this video was like a shit post.
Yeah, someone like, what if Chigurh said this, and then this MFer just dubbed over the whole scene.
Yeah.
And, well, let's just play it.
Look, you know I always keep it hunted, and that's tea.
That's not what I heard.
I heard you're cancelled.
Yeah, well, who said that? You know who said it. You thirsty mayo ass.
You need to miss me with that.
I keep it real with you.
Honey, I'm living rent-free in your head.
Nah, sis. You're wrong.
I'm just sipping the tea.
You're cancelled and that's it, Chief. The tea has been spilled.
You need to miss me with that shit.
So I genuinely love this movie. Like, it's one of my favorite movies, period. And the fact that, like, this stupid scene now supersedes the real thing. What I love is when he says thirsty mayo ass, the dub is perfect because he's like he's having fun saying it on the phone.
I love the fucking Llewellyn Moss lines because, like, it comes off just like in the movie where he's so overmatched. Like there's no way that he can stand up because Chigurh is saying shit like thirsty mayo ass, and that's not what I heard. I heard you're canceled, and Llewellyn is throwing out these absolute stock phrases that don't mean anything. They're not relevant. Like I keep it hunted. I'm living rent free in your head. I'm just sipping the tea. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's just saying phrases. It's like someone's pulling his string.
Yes,
and he's doing, there's a snake in my boot.
This is a panic response. This is just an animal flailing in the corner with no tactics. It doesn't know karate. Meanwhile, Chigurh knows karate. Thirsty mayo ass is the most devastating.
That's not what I heard is actually my favorite.
It's so fucking good. The pause between, that's not what I heard.
The dubs are
I
very
heard they're
good.
canceled. Yes.
They're very good.
Great. And then when he says at the end the tea has been spilled, it cuts to the shot of Woody Harrelson's blood pooling towards Sugar's boots, which I think is very funny. You talk about spillage, and then there you go. It's like, it really is one of those things that overwrites your brain. I don't want to get into this because it's a whole other thing, but Neil C. Sariga's mashup albums just do this so fucking well. Where he will just have a song where he has the instrumentals of one song and the vocals of another. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Well, those two songs are this now forever.
Yeah. Ghostbusters is now busting.
Yeah. If I hear the Modest Mouse Float On riff and I don't hear somebody, I'm just like, they got a hacked ROM from Russia. This isn't how the song goes.
One last thing at work, we just like launched a platform migration, so I had like kind of open office tech support stuff, and when
you just have to like be online in case anyone
it was like a Zoom room and people came in and there's like people sitting in there waiting for help and whatever. The thing is, when we started planning this episode, I watched the fucking Sugar video like 100 times, and like definitely a few times I had my mic on, so there was definitely like, that's not what I heard came through, and I just like was like coughing. It's just coffee in here.
Hell yeah.
This one is important to me. This is a quickie, but it's important. I'll just say it. There's really not really a lot of way to introduce this. In February of 2007, the Los Angeles Chargers, the football team, tweeted, "P.F. Chang's is so good."
This is at Chargers. It has the Los Angeles Chargers logo as its profile picture. It has a blue check mark.
It is. This was posted using Twitter SMS. Obviously, this is a feature that has long been sunset, but if you'll recall, there was a period where you could literally just text a number, and that whatever you texted would post on your account. So this was the way you could post on the go before like smartphones were a thing.
And like the PF Chang's is so good from the Los Angeles Chargers. That's funny. But the real funny thing is, you recall that date Joe said was February 21st, 2007. We're not looking at this on a screenshot. I'm at twitter.com/chargers/5633634 ? Lang = It's live.
It's live. It's real. And that's why your discussion a little bit before about like, oh, these comics, you can't find them now because like they're just lost. Like eventually that rot will come for this URL, this my treasured PF Chang's tweet.
It's kind of sweet that like there was this clear fucking text mix up with whoever was in charge of the Los Angeles Chargers account. No joke, 15 years ago. Wow, yeah. That's a long number of years. And like this was the mix up. Like it could have been like, can't come to the party tonight because I have a huge butthole problem. I have my butthole like cut by a huge knife. You wouldn't believe how it happened. And it's like, just PF Chang's is so good. It's just like, you know what? I haven't been, but I bet it is. Yeah.
You have two numbers. You have like your buddy Carl, and then you got work Twitter in your contacts.
I mean, I know it's the Los Angeles Chargers, but it's just so funny to be looking at that and then click on the profile and see like the latest tweets, which are all like, game day, let's do this, and like pictures of Chargers players being like, damn, they're great. Wow.
Your brain wants to make a narrative of this. Like, it wants to see, like, this is a continuous event. Like, the PF Chang's is so good is a continuous narrative to these game day photos.
Surely they wouldn't have left it up if they didn't want it to be part of their grand portrait. If they didn't want to be part of the river of time that they're painting. Fuck, it's so good. PF Chang's is so good is what's so good. Fuck this. All right, Joe, can I do one? Can I do another one?
Yeah.
All right, so this one is a YouTube video. I don't know the provenance of this or if it's real. If it's staged, it is such an excellent, quick, like 30-second sketch that I can't even be mad. It's just like if it's staged, it's a masterpiece of writing and performance and like economy of script. However, I really hope that it is real. It is the video of Christmas morning in a French household. And I'm going to play it now.
Voilà, tous les cadeaux, ben voilà, c'est Noël, c'est comme ça. Voilà.
Now, what he has said now is, look at all the gifts. It's Christmas. The child opens a book, a present, and it is a copy of Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, prompting his father to say, what the hell is that?
He's like, Dad, he wanted Minecraft.
Non, mais c'est Minecraft qu'il voulait. C'est Minecraft. Mais non, papa, c'est Minecraft. Mais où t'as trouvé ça? C'est pas possible. Mais non, c'est pas pareil, c'est un jeu vidéo, Minecraft. C'est pour les gamins.
Minecraft, papa, Minecraft. And like the grandpa is just sitting in the chair looking like confused. He's double confused because one, his grandson, as far as he knows, was like the one thing I want for Christmas.
Is the
more
Hitler
than anything.
book.
yes. Yeah. And like the edition of Mein Kampf that he got him is so like it's like cartoonishly hilarious because it's got like the evil Nazi font and Adolf Hitler, a huge portrait of him on the cover, looking like demonic. It looks like they edited the photo to make him look eviler.
Yeah, this is the most this book has ever looked of itself.
Yes. It's the like you can just like spy this book from across the room and be like, "Damn, Satan lives in there." God, Minecraft, Papa, Minecraft. Just like
there's
Minecraft.
a little exhalation from Papa when the correction happens, which is really special.
Yeah, it's a weird, very unusual and rare emotion, which is simultaneous embarrassment and relief. Where he like tries to defend himself, like, no, he asked for Minecraft.
But it's not about him.
No, he asked
anymore.
for Mein
It's
Kampf.
about his son not being a Nazi. Like, that's the relief.
It's so fucking good. It's not the same, Dad. Minecraft is a video game.
Okay, this is a classic post. It's just a bunch of words on Twitter.
Yeah, we love that.
Tom, do you know who Grover Norquist is?
So he is some kind of right-wing libertarian think tank guy. I know that one of the funny things about him, in addition to just being always around and having political opinions that are evil and make death happen, is that he's like extremely passionate about vaping. Even when like vaping was considered like degenerate.
Yeah, he was an early "we vape and we vote" guy.
Yeah, and he was like, he would like reply to his right-wing ghoul peers being like, I think you're wrong here at this opinion. Vaping is actually something good that everyone should do and we should not regulate it. There would be like, someone would be like, I am moving to regulate Juul and get it out of the hands of our youth. And Grover would be like, don't do that. No.
Yes.
So that's what I know about Grover.
That's correct. The other thing he did, like politically, like many of the right-wing guys, he was obviously really against any sort of tax increase whenever, but he actually had like this thing, which was, I don't know if it was like the no tax pledge or something, but anyway, all these Republican guys had to like do this ritual where they all agree not to raise taxes and they mix their blood together. And so Grover Norquist's thing is that he hates, like, if you say I'm going to raise taxes, he's like, ah, like he just starts like shaking.
Yeah, he's a libertarian. Why would libertarian is all about don't steal my money? Why would the government need my money? I'm free. The government shouldn't do anything for me. I'm free. Don't take my money.
So in November 7th of 2013, he tweeted this, which in the context of the year, like, who cares? But it says, okay, Obama admitted he lied to pass Obamacare, sort of apologized. How about fixing things? Delay, repeal, repudiate, and Senate Dems? ? To which point, Twitter user at DanKDL responds, at Grover Norquist, I'm going to put you in a diaper and burp you, pal.
This is a hilarious fucking burn. It's a pretty general issue burn. It's just like, you're a baby and I'm going to burp you, you little baby. It's very funny. But as it stands there, if that was everything, it would just be like an 8 out of 10. Let's move on.
Grover has a love for low taxes and vaping, but he's also got a little bit of a soul of a poster in him because he responds with just do not raise taxes.
It's impossible for me to read this as anything other than like, oh boy, what a treat. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Don't raise taxes. It's like a diaper for me, the naughty boy? Okay. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't a winking emoji in this, technically. But, like, you don't actually need to have it typed out to know it's there. I'm going to put you in a diaper and burp you, pal. Just do not raise taxes. Also, the implication that, like, the guy who's threatening to burp him like a baby is, like, in addition to having that be on his docket, also, like, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I will be...
I'm going to walk over to Congress and just really give a humdinger of a speech.
I will exercise my political power such that taxes will rise.
Yeah, Grover absolutely knows who can raise his taxes and knows all of their phone numbers.
Damn, I love this shit. Just do not raise taxes. We can't get enough. Okay, I got another one. And Joe, this is very similar to... This is a video very similar to the French Family on Christmas in that it is involves a German child who is really happy about two things that he has been permitted by whatever authority figure is taking care of him. He's been permitted these two little treats. And he is taking a video explaining how joyful he is about it. And every time he says the name of one, he swings the camera around to look at it. And I'm not going to translate it, but let it be known that the two things that he is swinging between are a 16-ounce bottle of Coke Zero and a computer with the video game Fortnite running on it. And I don't think, if you're an English speaker, you're going to need any translation because you can sort of follow along. I'm going to play it now.
Meine Mama hat mir einfach erlaubt, dass ich Cola trinken darf. Wie cool ist das bitte? Jetzt zock ich Fortnite und trink Cola. Yippie!
Fortnite und drink Cola! Yippee!
This is Uther from The Simpsons.
I cannot run fast. I'm full of chocolate.
I have a good German child story. At my old job, we were right by Millennium Park, so like during lunch, I would just like go putz around, which is by the famous bean, the big structure everyone licks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tourists, and it's obvious where they're from sometimes because they're speaking different languages. And there was a German family, and they had a little German son, and he walked up to the bean and went, "What is das?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's good." It really made my day.
Ich eine Bean. Oh my god! Like this, it's funny. This kid is obsessed with his cola und Fortnite. Like two things. One, just like honestly feels good to be reminded that kind of joy exists in this world today.
It's like Saturday morning cartoon feeling a little bit, right?
Yeah. To him, there is no problem in the entire world. Like, everything is ideal. And all it took was Fortnite und drinking cola. Cola. Calling it cola. Oh, my God. Using the generic. And, Jesus Christ. I like to be tolerant of other cultures and not make fun. But I just gotta say, this is some fucking funny German shit.
German is very funny or very scary. Like it's that's how it is.
Yeah, it hadn't been scary for a while. I think they got all their scare out, and you know when they did it. No, they just drank cola. I have a German child story. I forgot about this. This was when my wife and I were visiting her parents in Spain. I think 2 or 3 years ago. This was pre-Rona. No, actually, you know what it was? We fuck. Her dad, my father-in-law, it was like December 2020 because he was like, "Have you heard about this virus from the Wuhan wet market?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." And he's like, "Yeah, sounds kind of spooky." I'm like, "I bet it won't amount to anything. It'll be like SARS, where it sort of blows over." Well, it was like SARS in that it is a type of SARS.
Yeah, it's
but
in
anyway,
the name.
but the point being, fuck this. We spent some time in Seville, just me and my wife, and we were eating dinner outside at some restaurant, and there was a family that was sat down at the table next to us. There were three of them. One of them was an older German man, I could tell because of the German words that he spoke, and he looked to be about 60 at least, gray hair, wrinkly but not like elderly, so like 60, maybe 70, maybe like a nice looking 70.
He looked like an XCOM scientist.
Exactly. Yes. He would like tell you like, "Eine Plasma rifle ist not in ready, my commandant." He was with his wife, who was 1/3 of his age, looked like a friggin' model, very young, very glamorous, dressed up, and they were with their son. I could tell because the son looked like if you mixed the two of them together.
A little scientist.
A little scientist with a glamorous tinge. Anywho, they were eating dinner and they were having a discussion, and we were blown away because like they would try to talk to the child, but the child was playing Fortnite on his phone the entire time while eating. He would get the food. He didn't stop. It was all Fortnite all the time. And I think they tried to make him put his game away at one point, and then he had a reaction which prevented them from maintaining this desire of theirs, and he played games for the rest of the time. It was great.
Now I'm just thinking about weird kid stories, like European weird kids I've interacted with. I was at a board game cafe, and I remember a father and his son came, and they were both from Iceland. They were like, "We're just visiting," and it was like the most stoic child I've ever met because they were playing like very complicated Euro games, and he was doing very well, but he was also like young. Mm-hmm. Like this is like a kid who was like, "Wake up, I know it's dark 20 hours here a day, but you have to do your 15 hours of Euro games in order to get your breakfast."
Yeah. You need to understand how to most efficiently transfer one type of resource into another type of resource. The base conversion rate is 2 black cubes for 1 gray cube. You have to be over that conversion rate at all times. My son, if you ever are getting only 2 cubes for your 1 gray cube, you're going to go have to dig up the fermented shark yourself. I'm not doing it for you.
All the child did was like sip cocoa the whole time as he joylessly beat his dad's ass at everything they played.
Hell yeah. That's, I gotta say, the Euro games, people can make fun of them all they want. Say that it's just cubes, it's just pushing cubes here and getting a different type of cube, and then doing math so that you have the optimal number of cubes, and then realizing 3 turns away from the end of the game, you're just doing the math in your head, and you're like, "Oh, it's literally impossible for me to score another point in this game. Oopsie." And that's all true. But, like...
It's fun, though.
Yeah, everyone has... in different amounts, but everyone has at least a little bit of that like sick urge to just like count up your cubes and be like, "That's a lot." Whoa. And like if you are a child who happens to have been born with a disproportionately high amount of that urge, like not having Euro games on hand is going to make your life way worse because it's going to be like you're constantly trying to scratch an itch that you can't find. And then Euro games are like, "Hey buddy."
We've had guests talk about how they found anime like later in life. They're like, "Oh, this is what I was looking for."
Yeah.
And that's what a kid without Euro games.
Yeah. Holy moly.
This is an all-text post. This is an example of why you should never try to like sound smart on the internet, because this is what you end up as. This is a tweet by Bronze Swords doing this thing where I guess it's like a Jordan Peterson impression.
Yeah,
but here it is.
I'm going to read his bio because it's very funny, and I think will give you a little bit of context into what Joe's about to say. "Protecting what is mine. PhD student in philosophy and history. True classical liberal. The alarm bell should be going off right now. Center left. You should be freaking out and constructing a fort. Pro beauty. Pro freedom. Anti-bullying. Anti-feminism / SJW. You know how when you're center left and you hate feminism? Anyway, that's the kind of guy that we're dealing with.
Yes. So this is what he tweeted. I was thinking about why so many in the radical left participate in speed running. The reason is the left's lack of work ethic. Go fast rather than do it right. And in a
Jesus Christ.
And in a Petersonian? How do I say that?
Petersonian.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson, to be clear, is the Peterson he's talking about.
And in a Petersonian sense, to elevate alternative sexual archetypes in the marketplace. In parentheses, fastest Mario. Post 1 of 14.
I thought it was 1 of 4. I was just glancing my eyes over it. Holy shit. Okay, wait, no, Joe. I'm guessing now. I'm calling my shot that this is one of those threads where he says 1 of 14, and then he gets to post number 14. He's like, oh, I'm not done, and has more. I'm gonna scroll down and see. Yep, I'm seeing that he changes to 15 on post number 11, and oh my god. Okay.
Fastest Mario is very funny. We've talked about this before, which is just like using parentheses for lazy like joke infusion, and he's doing it here. Elevate alternative sexual archetypes in the marketplace.
Fastest Mario.
Fastest Mario.
Is what he's saying? Okay. Oh man. Is what he's saying that as a leftist, when I want to become a sexual being and gratify myself in that way, what I wish for more than anything, not only is the cartoon Italian Super Mario, that's what I want, but also to know that of all the Marios, this one is the fastest. That's what gets me hard. Holy shit. Also, this is just ridiculous on his face. The idea that speedrunners don't work hard.
It is, to me, like work in the tedious sense. It is like... What they're doing is work. I'm not saying it needs to be done, but it definitely takes labor and attention to detail that I'm not doing. I'm impressed by it.
Yeah, and like the idea that like actually completing a game as the designers wished the average retail customer to complete it is so like it's so generous. To beat a game allows for so much like fucking up and doing it wrong and not doing it exactly as intended, and sort of them giving you a pass, like, okay, good enough, that's fine. Yeah, sure, keep going. Whereas when you're speedrunning, like, there are instances very frequently where if you do not do something on exactly the right frame, the right 60th of a second, you have completely failed and need to start over.
Yeah, those are always fun because the speedrunner will mention that. They'll be like, oh, because this bird didn't appear, I'm definitely going to be not able to get a good time. I'm basically fucked and wasting my time.
Yep.
I do like the idea that this is like a key part of leftism. Like what radicalizes people? I'll tell you what radicalizes people in leftism was when you're in the deco tree and you're hitting the wall with your deco stick while backflipping, which obviously causes you to force the credits for the post-Ganon fight. That's what leftism is all about.
Yeah. Oh, God. I'm looking at... I don't want to go down the whole thread because it's going to be meaningless, but I really love this one, number 3. A speedrunner may well spend hours a day at their craft, but this is ultimately a meaningless exercise, since they will ultimately accomplish exactly that which is done in less collective time by a casual player. Huh? Like, is he trying to say, like...
This is output brain.
Why would you spend hundreds of hours working on your speedrun when you could just complete the game in the normal amount of time? It's like, a casual player is never getting a world record, friend. Like, it doesn't... The casual player never accomplishes that. What are you fucking talking about? Also, I think
Yeah.
this guy got demon mindset because he's talking about how
Yes.
it's meaningless because it doesn't make
Yes.
money.
Correct. There's no output. Like the actual meaningful thing is the act of doing it. Like you're playing your game and you're not thinking your awful thoughts.
Yeah.
It does not produce a ribbon at the end. You do not get anything. But that's fine.
Yeah. Human beings have a natural urge to strive for excellence, and it's fun to do that and to know that you are good at things. When I'm good at things, I feel very pleased with myself.
This is also why you should never try to talk like an essay.
Yes, yeah. Fuck. That is a huge dumb guy move because they think that, like, if I want to be smart, where do smart people live? College. I gotta sound like college all the time. And it just, like, you know who else is in college? Children. Those are the students. They're all
Drunk
children.
kids.
Yeah, so you sound like a fucking drunk kid, idiot. Fastest Mario.
Very funny though.
That's alternative sexual act as fastest Mario. Anyway, so this is very funny because not only did this person say this, but they didn't delete it after getting dunked on relentlessly, and somebody sort of called him out, like, "Hey, you're not deleting this. You're leaving this up," and he has responded with the following post, which, oh man, like the whole, like, understanding what he meant by fastest Mario was tough enough, but this really does feel like it was written in a different language. There are many likes on this post. By this post, he means the person who is making fun of him for not deleting the original post. So there are many likes on this post. While I have a lot of people, many of whom are janglers or people associated with the Corn Man, who simply make fun of media criticism that they disagree with, I have also seen people genuinely engage with praise and good faith criticism. The Corn Man!
I'm so scared of the Corn Man.
Dude, do not call me a jangler. That is an offensive term. Do not. Janglers, by the way, is in quotation marks. Many of whom are, quote, jangler.
I have less context for the original tweet now. Because now, like, there's a horror element that I don't understand.
Yeah, this Bronze Swords is Slender Man, dude.
Yes, I was getting that. I was thinking, or maybe like a Candyman thing. You say jangler in the mirror.
Yeah, and if you summon the Candyman and then you summon Corn Man, they just, like, they hate each other. They can't do any murder because they're too busy bickering. Don't be associated with the Corn Man. Okay, also, he says that the people who make fun of him are either janglers or people associated with the Corn Man. Is there no overlap? Can you not be a jangler and also be on the Corn Man's side? Who is the Corn Man?
Now I'm thinking of my favorite Simpsons joke, which is when they're talking about the Statue of Liberty, and the guy's like, surely this huge woman will devour us all. And the guy jumps off the boat. That's what I want to do when I hear about the Corn Man.
Oh my god!
He's going to turn
Joe.
me into ethanol.
Joe, okay. This is a long shot, but hear me out. I just thought up this theory, and I'm not joking. I just thought this up. So he's quote tweeting this person making fun of him, yeah, and this person's username is @ShinyUrine, and their display name is shiny, and then an emoji of a lemon, and the lemon looks like a sort of a lemon-shaped lemon with two little leaves and a stem at one side. Joe, I think that Shiny Urine is the Corn Man, and that he has mistook the lemon for a cob of corn.
Oh. He just, like, tuned in on yellow and that's it?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. There's no evidence other than that, like, an idiot might think that that's corn. And this guy clearly is one. Associated with the Corn Man. Do you guys have Corn Men, the movie?
Yeah, and the guy is obviously being accosted by, like, 20 corn freaks who are made of husks.
Oh, that's good shit. Ooh, that's good shit. Joe, this one is not really even a post. This is just a joke that I recalled a while ago that I hadn't thought of in a while and really knocked me flat with how good it is. This is just one of those, like, we've done this from time to time where we just share jokes that like live in our head forever and are like perfect. And it's from homestarrunner.com. If you're not familiar with homestarrunner.com, I'm sorry, because it was such a fucking fun thing to watch as it came out. It was
the only good thing about Flash, I would say.
Yes, it was a website that would put out Flash cartoons every week starring a little gang of characters doing shit, fucking around. The main guy was Strong Bad, who was a little wrestle man who was sort of brash and kind of an asshole, but he was goofy. He was sarcastic, but not in a way that was annoying. And the main sort of signature segment on the website was Strong Bad emails, where someone would send Strong Bad an email and he would respond to it in a funny way. And the only other thing you need to know is that the main character, Homestar Runner, the namesake of the site, was sort of like a dopey idiot who talked like this and was not really important ever and was really very rarely in a cartoon. And Strong Bad, the main character, disdained Homestar greatly for his stupidity and did not suffer him to be around. So, the email is someone asks Strong Bad how the patch on his couch got there. Because sometimes we see Strong Bad's basement, there's a couch, and it has a patch on it. Obviously, this is long enough into the series' life that this kind of minutia is getting addressed.
Yeah. This is not an opening salvo.
Yeah, and so it's kind of funny. Strong Bad has his story about how the patch got there, and obviously it's a lie that's very self-aggrandizing. Strong Bad's emo brother, Strong Sad, shows up and says that the patch was put on because Strong Bad thought that Carla Lewis, the sprinter, was a woman named Carla Lewis, and he wrote, Strong Bad loves Carla Lewis and thinks she's hot, and then he got embarrassed and put a patch over it. And then Homestar shows up, and he goes like, yo, you guys got it all wrong. And here is the joke. Here is his story. His one of the Rashamons of how the patch on the couch got there. And it goes, I'm reciting this from memory. So there I was in Strong Bad's basement, spitting Teddy Grahams all over the place. One of them got stuck to the ceiling. And then they're all just like, Homestar, that had nothing to do with the couch patch. Also, in your story, the patch was clearly already there. Because, like, we cut there, because it's a fucking video, so we see Homestar spitting Teddy Grants everywhere. And there's the patch. And here's the punchline, which just, like, I don't know if it'll hit just me saying it, but it's just, like, in my head, this is such a diamond that I could go to and look at it anytime and feel very happy. He says, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this email was entitled Teddy Graham Memory. Like, Teddy Graham, he thought it was called Teddy Graham Memories, dude.
Mm-hmm. And he had a story, though. He contributed.
His story was I was spitting Teddy Grahams all over the place, and one of them got stuck to the ceiling. These guys, the guys who did Homestar Runner, they've, like, moved on to other things. I think one of them wrote for Gravity Falls. They've had, good careers. They're working still on stuff that's funny, but, like, that really is a relic of when the internet could, and often did, just give you treasures that you didn't even know you wanted.
The website itself was fun because it was in Flash, so obviously it was a huge security risk, but also, like, it was Strong Bad's computer itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, like, there were Easter eggs, so you could, like, click on the video, and every once in a while, they would, like, put a hidden link in the video, or not even a link, like something you could click in the video that would make something pop up, or, like, would make something change in the video that, like, you would have to search out and find, because the Flash player is, like, interactive. It's not just, like, a video player where it's playing a thing. You can change it.
It tickled your adventure game impulse a little bit.
Yeah. Fuck.
But I don't know, the loss of that site, like, obviously, again, Flash is gone for a reason, but every website now looks the same.
Yeah,
like it does. Unless, I guess the only option now is if you use dark mode. I think that's the big. Yeah.
And just like there used to be a time when you could be nobody. These guys didn't have credits when they started. You could be nobody and start up a site where you put fucking videos where Homestar Runner thought the email was entitled Teddy Graham Memories, and you could make that your living.
Yeah. You could also make a bunch of Flash animations where like Mario says "fuck" to Sonic and put it on Newgrounds.
Damn, man. I don't think you watched H Bomber Guy. He did a 3-hour video about Ruby, the terrible Rooster Teeth anime about little girls.
Wait, is that how you say it? I've been saying the letters in my internal monologue when I read it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was Ribwe myself, but he says in the video it's Ruby. And the video was like whatever. It was very funny when he would make fun of the parts that sucked, but like there was like a little frisson of like, but it's got such potential and it has flashes of greatness. Isn't that so disappointing than if it was just bad? And I'm like, buddy, you did not convince me with the flashes of greatness. All the evidence you're giving me is that this is just bad. And like he talks about how the animator of the fights and like the co-creator who does the animation choreography specifically of the fights, and that's the only thing he does, like got famous because of an animation where Halo fights Metroid, and at the end they both take off their armor and they're hot babes and they like hold each other. And
so he created something perfect.
Yeah, just saying, like there was a time when not only would that kind of thing just show up on the internet, but the creator would get rewarded with a lot of money. It's like Halo fights Metroid. Damn.
I saw a lot of cool fight choreography on Newgrounds. Many of them were just sometimes like stick figure battles, but like done as coolly as possible.
I loved when someone's forum signature was a gif of a stick figure anime fight, and then it would like loop at the end. That's good shit. Joe, no, give me another post. Let's move past this. What's another post?
Next up, we have a post, but it's a wife post as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This was posted by Adam Atkinson with the following image and accompanying tweet. Tweet says, "I am begging you to read this engagement announcement from my parents' local paper." So the accompanying image is engagement notices, Cullen Johnson engagement. We see an older guy with like, is that a ponytail?
Yeah, he's got a ponytail.
Oh, I just noticed that now. With
that sort of should tip you off on the twist that's coming.
And he's looking into the eyes of his younger wife.
Doesn't look that much younger, but like, yeah, certainly. It's not
one
of those.
Is throwing me off. When you have a gray ponytail, anything goes.
Yeah, but this isn't like a German man and his model wife in Seville eating outside. She's definitely younger, but it's not like a huge thing.
Yeah. Here is the text from the newspaper scan. Dr. Matthew Johnson and Miss Jennifer Bear Cullen are pleased to announce their engagement to be married in February of 2022. Dr. Johnson, son of the late Walter J. Johnson of Clark, New Jersey, is a well-known professor, historian, and author. Miss Cullen, celebrated behavior specialist born and raised in the Alakiski Valley by her late parents, the beloved William and Martha Bear.
Colton Cullen, the son of the bride, is delighted to share in this miracle of love and devotion he's witnessing for the first time in his life. He would like to thank his stepfather for the genuine loyalty, honesty, and protection that neither he or his mother have ever known before.
All right, this is going to get real normal. As a diamond is produced only under intense heat and pressure, Jennifer's beauty derives from enduring decades of narcissistic attempts to defeat her virtue and crush her spirit. These sociopathic attacks backfired. Matthew is ecstatic to be the one and only man adequately equipped to satiate Jennifer's long, unsatisfied yearning for romantic attention, affection, and love.
Similarly, as gold is refined only through intense heat and flame, Matthew's strength of will derives from enduring decades of pathological contempt, deceit, and hypocrisy. They failed to break him. Jennifer is overjoyed to finally provide him with the unconditional love, undying respect, and gratifying intimacy like no man has ever experienced.
To put it simply, they won. I guess this guy, the follow-up tweet is that this guy's a Nazi, like an actual, like the stuff he said where he was like, everyone is attacking my virtue and like my research.
I've had to deal with decades of pathological contempt.
Because he's a dang Johnny Hitler.
He's a big Nazi. And like, because it's very fun to read that and be like, wow, it's a wife post. This guy's getting so absolutely over the top about him and his wife. They're making it out to be like they're the most hated bitch of the earth who have never found any solace, and finally they're together, and together they're going to create like the perfect utopia. And it's like, well, they've been fucking persecuted because of their Nazi beliefs, and their perfect utopia will be made through genocide. that will be the road that gets them there.
You also know that the couple this is about probably isn't on the up and up, because like the engagement announcement, like, but the third paragraph is like, and I'll get you all back. I'll show you for doubting me, which is like a weird turn for an engagement notice. Usually, like, revenge doesn't come up typically.
Yeah. Usually you don't be like, one thing to know about me is that I have never experienced loyalty, honesty, and protection. And anyone who claims to have given me those before, or who you might assume had given me those before, did not.
I mean, it sounds like this guy went through his life being a Nazi, and everyone around him was like, fuck you. Like, this sucks. I don't want to, like,
Okay, so the way we know he's a Nazi is because the Atom Atkinson replied saying, and he's an actual Nazi. Have received some indication via DM that any tips from locals about this guy would be appreciated. And then someone responded later down, I think it's this dude. And it is a review of Matthew Johnson's book, Dr. Matthew Johnson's book. And it is a scathing review, which includes the following pull quote, which had been helpfully posted as a reply. Quote, National Socialism is his unabashed reason for writing, and he will not let his illiteracy get in the way.
Oh, no, what? Like, he doesn't know what the words mean? He's just going by fervor? Good Lord.
This review is the sociopathic attempts to crush his virtue. Like, this is what he's talking about in the announcement.
Oh, my God. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, this guy sucks ass. I hope he and his wife have a miserable life. Fuck him. Fuck. I think the last one I'm going to share, and I wish I could share it in a more real way, is a thread of great posts that I wish that I could revisit. Like the Library of Alexandria, and like you've been talking about how, these things disappear. You can't find Phil Elverum's comics anymore. One day the Los Angeles Chargers will delete P.F. Chang's is so good. This thread is gone. Because what it is was a thread by a Twitter user named Lydia Burrell. And it was a thread of Thanksgiving wraps. By which I mean, sometimes a white family tending to be a certain income bracket will decide that it is a funny thing to take music written by black people and cover it, changing the lyrics to be about Thanksgiving, making a little music video out of it. Now you might think, surely only a few people. No, Joe, there's so goddamned many. This
is where we differ. I can't do the bad raps. Like, I can only do like one an hour, but you... like a dog that was left with an open bag of food will consume until you die, if possible.
Yes, it's true. Lydia Burrell has clipped these so that they do not simply put the entire rap, which that would be too much even for me, but they simply clip some of the more overtly disgusting and terrible and disrespectful and just generally bad, like shitty lines. Absolute, like, just the quick hits, letting you get down to the meat of this terrible Thanksgiving rap. And there's so goddamn many. Every Thanksgiving, I would open this thread. I had it bookmarked, and I would watch them all again. And I couldn't believe it. And like, oh man. Like, there's a lot to be said about the sort of white person urge to do
stuff.
Jokey covers of to do jokey covers of rap songs. Like there was that time when like the Ben Folds Bitches Ain't Shit or the Jonathan Colton Baby Got Back were like hilarious things that all the college kids loved.
That was peak white. That was peak
Yeah.
white. That was also basically like aligning with our college years, right?
Yeah, dude. I went to a Jonathan Colton concert in college because I thought he was great. When he did Baby Got Back, we all hooted. Looking back on it, that urge is like unmistakably racist and disrespectful. It very much is.
It's the demon mindset.
Yeah, it's like I, a human, am doing music from those other people who are different from me and weirder. I'm doing it normal. Don't you think it's funny that I'm doing their weird music, but I made it normal? It's funny because this isn't normal. It's not real music. I'm doing it as a joke. It's like, it's really disgusting and honestly, like, kind of hateful. And I'm glad it's dropped out of public consciousness. However, not so for the families doing the Thanksgiving raps. And Joe, I went to look at this thread this year, and the account, Lydia Burrell, has been deleted for violating Twitter's rules. The thread's gone. I tried to look up Lydia Burrell Thanksgiving raps because there were like big like blue check people being like, I love this thread, haha, in like the replies. So I'm like, someone wrote about this. It must have gotten one of those articles where someone at some fucking blog or something gets assigned like, hey, please write what this meme is. We need a fucking article about the meme, you know? Just for the clicks. And so I'm like, okay, Lydia Burrell Thanksgiving raps into Google. And I was like, oh, thank God. I'm seeing a lot of exactly what I thought there would be. Blog posts by like the Daily Dot or what have you being like, you'll never believe these terrible Thanksgiving reps. And I'm like, great, got it. Joe, the journalistic establishment has failed us. They've completely become derelict in their duty. All they did was just put a bunch of embedded links to the tweets, which are now gone. So it's just like, you'll never believe how funny this is. Dead link. Ha ha, that was great. You think that was funny though? How about this one? Dead link. Wow, what a great article I've written. Anyway, bye. And
the Library of Alexandria burned.
I wish I could remember more of them. I only know a few. But I'm going to share what little I know. The first one, the sort of premier one that started off the thread, where people would see this and they would feel like they got punched in the fucking gut and stop everything. It was, again, your standard wasps in a big, ugly McMansion. And there's the mom, who looks like a wasp, sitting at the head of the table, looking frazzled, with a big glass of wine. And she goes, and it's auto-tuned, now watch me sip my Chardonnay. Now watch me sip my Chardonnay. 'Cause I've been cooking since 4:30. So watch me sit my Chardonnay. And it cuts to the husband sleeping on the couch, and he goes, now watch me snore. And then the clip cuts up.
I hate that. I started sweating like when you were like just saying what was happening.
There is a later one from the same family where the dad, who looks like an absolute clown, he thinks he is so funny, which like that's one of the most hateful things. When there's someone who's deeply unfunny and every part of their body language speaks to how sure they are that they're hilarious and how smug they are about it. And it's just like, why do you get to... Your brain is deriving so much pleasure from this. Your brain is shooting out so many fucking good-feeling chemicals, and you didn't even do the work. I do the work, and I have to struggle to get the good-feeling chemicals, bitch. And he is... This is the one that sticks most. Like, me and my wife say this, like, out loud, without realizing we're saying it, like really frequently, like multiple times a week, every week for years. He is plopping down big scoops of mashed potatoes on everyone's fucking plates. And he goes, it's my mashed potatoes. It's the one dish everybody hates. And then it cuts off. And it's just like, not only is that extremely terrible and an awful Despacito parody, everyone loves mashed potatoes. Dude, it's butter. It's just butter. No one could dislike that.
I think the idea is that he is the clumsy husband that could fuck up anything, including mashed potatoes. Is that the joke?
Maybe. I hate this. Fuck. Those are the ones that stick most strongly in my head because they are really bad. There's one, I can't remember the specifics, but it's this fucking like bro who voted for Trump and loves Marvel movies, who's doing I love it when you're carving big turkey. That's pretty bad. There's one, oh my god, this one actually sticks with me. This is a really painful one because the production value varies wildly between these. Because some of them, like this, the watch me shit my Chardonnay, it's my mashed potatoes, it's one dish everybody hates. This family's putting in like money. They have a budget because they think, and I think maybe one of them did, go viral. They think they're going to make a profit off of this. So they're putting in like, they're doing a shoot. Whereas some of them are clearly someone has a crappy camcorder and is doing one take using the camcorder's onboard mic, and it's very grainy and sounds terrible. This is one of those. And I'm just gonna do it. This is this white woman. She's doing her little rap, and she goes, "But this feast don't need explaining. All you really need to understand is talk turkey to me. Gobble 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 gobble."
Jesus Christ. So this is gone? No one can see this
gone.
anymore? That sucks. That's such a fucking shame. Like, oh man. Like, even if I go to the Wayback Machine, like, nothing happens? That's crazy. We haven't talked too much about memes lately. Like, we've been mostly focused on, like, specific posts and not sort of meme formats.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the other day, and I was thinking maybe we could put our brains together on this. Because I think I have the answer, but I'm not sure. So we know the galaxy brain meme, right? Which is just like 4 pictures of escalating ideas and like the brain gets bigger, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the Vince McMahon meme where it's him like
Making ahegao faces.
being more supreme. Yeah, he gets more and more, I guess, excited as he sees a muscular guy.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Is the Vince McMahon meme just a straight upgrade of the Galaxy Brain meme? Because I don't think there's anything rhetorically...
Yes, Joe.
It is just a straight upgrade? It
yes,
is?
much like how Winnie the Pooh looking sad and Winnie the Pooh in a suit is a straight upgrade of the distracted boyfriend and the Drake being unhappy and the Drake being happy. Like, if you ever need to say one of these things is bad and one of these things is good, you gotta have Winnie the Pooh. And similarly, if you're just doing escalating shit, like the brain, I gotta credit Galaxy Brain for inventing the format, but like visually, there's not a lot to work with because like the stock images of like blue hologram brains are just like they kind of all look the same, dude, and they're not very funny on their own.
Yeah, and that's also what caused the meme evolution of like those Wojaks where the guy's brain is the chair he's sitting in.
I don't like that. That's yucky to me. I don't like where they're fucking a brain girl. I think that's really unpleasant.
The idea is very funny. I don't like that it was executed.
Yeah, exactly. But Vince McMahon, say what you will about him being an awful person, and he is. However, he is, I think, the most Muppet-like human. Like his face looks like there's a hand in it, making it do all that.
He's so funny. It sucks that he's a very important visual communication tool. He's a piece of shit, but he has really provided us with some very useful ways to talk to one another. And like the escalating Vince McMahon meme is a great one.
I mean, I made a joke about this. He's doing ahegao faces. He's a visionary. He saw that coming. He knew people would like those faces and started doing them in real life.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a straight upgrade. So what I'm saying is if you see in the wild like a Galaxy Brain meme format, you can just be like, oh, you don't know. Here you go. Here's the Vince McMahon.
Also, the Vince McMahon one, you can get to the one where it's all red and they put stars over his eyes and they like shake it. You know how sometimes the image looks like it's shaking, it's blurry. That's good shit. Oh man. Oh, okay, Joe, we got before we wrap up. There are some quick posts, some quick text posts, some normal ass posts that we got to get through because, I mean, I would hate to end the episode without saying these. We almost did end the episode without saying these, and then we decided to extend it, which is what we're doing now. I got to talk about this one. So this is Stanley Griffiths, which I imagine is some kind of, I don't know, British teddy bear. And it posts, today I helped out at Leamington Spa, #vaccination center, as an NHS volunteer steward. And there's a picture of a little teddy bear in a little reflective vest with a mask on. Would you care to share who is quote tweeting this and what they have to say?
Dr. Naomi Wolf quote tweeted this with no, and she got banned. Her account's gone.
No. Naomi Wolf, if you aren't familiar, is one of the dumbest human beings who's ever lived. She famously did an entire book. I forget what the book was about, and I don't care to look it up.
I know exactly what you mean. Like, there was some interview with the book, and someone asked a very specific question that was like, doesn't that call your whole fucking premise into question?
Yes,
And she was
yes.
like, ah!
There was some way that old British records were kept where they would say that, like, they would mark down the status of someone who I believe imprisoned. I forget what wording they used, but it would be possible if you didn't do any research to understand that wording meant that they were executed. And she wrote an entire book based on the rates of execution of prisoners at a certain time in British history. And she was on a radio show, and someone was like, that phrase, I noticed in your book, you seem to indicate that means that the prisoners are executed. She's like, yes. And it's like, no, that actually was a phrase that was used, is well known. It's not me conjecturing. It's well known that phrase was used just to, like, indicate that they had been released. And she's like, oh. So that's the kind of mind we're dealing with.
I did a Google search of her plus the word Twitter because I wanted to make sure she was still banned. Mm-hmm. And I found an accompanying article, which is Dr. Wolf was also duped into tweeting a made-up quote on an image of an American adult film star dressed up as a doctor.
Yes, okay, and I'm seeing that she was banned because she spread vaccine misinformation. One example of which is seeing a bear giving people vaccines and going, no! I love this because, again, this is just poetry. This is like just like, do you guys have dog trouble? And Gray Bones in a Grave, where it's funny on its face, but the actual wording of itself is so beautiful and perfect that, like, it elevates the idea behind it. Because she says, no! With one exclamation point, and then immediately follows it up with no with 2 exclamation points. Like, with such economy of language, with just 8 characters, she has taken on this journey where we can feel the escalating despair as she reacts to a cute picture of a teddy bear saying, I helped.
Like, you know, she's freaking out about vaccine skepticism, but, like, at face value, you can only take this as, like, she doesn't like this bear. Like, she hates this bear. She thinks this bear did a really bad job at the Leamington Spa vaccination center.
No! Also, like, I don't know. A big thing that all these creeps do is complain that they're not being taken seriously. And the reason is because they're out of their minds, and it'd be wrong to take them seriously, and so people don't. But it's one of their old saws that they always go back to. They like to use it as evidence that they're right, that people aren't taking them seriously out of spite because they're afraid. How does this post help your case that I'm not deranged? How does seeing a bear, a teddy bear, and going, no, make people be like, damn, Naomi's really got a point. No.
Well, she was on a full court press, I think, that day, which ultimately led to her banning.
Kicks ass.
This one is an example of the demon mindset we coined last episode.
Yeah, give me
this is from John Oranger.
He's got a blue check, just in case you were wondering. You'll know he had one when you hear what he has to say.
He posted this on September 5th, 2021. On 9/11, I looked up and saw the second plane hit the World Trade Center. I can still feel the searing heat from the explosion. That day changed my entrepreneurial journey forever. Here is my story. Emoji thread.
Yeah, the fucking spool emoji. Just a big red flag saying about a bunch of more stupid shit's gonna happen. We coined demon mindset the last episode, and, like, if you ever needed evidence that it's true, here it is.
This is someone clearly like, okay, I'm digging through my life. What traumatic experiences or what meaningful experiences can I have? How can I mine that for the purposes of business mindset.
Yeah. Like 9/11 is one of like the more elemental experiences of like shared human pain, where all the culture war fell away for a second. It came back harder than ever, of course. It fell away for a second because like real pain visited a part of the world that is so insulated from it. And it shocked a lot of people out of complacency. Like, as you can be an evil business guy, you can have bought into the rot. You can have been insulated from reality for years and years, your entire life, so you can't even remember what it's like anymore. But then that happens, and you feel the heat and the explosion, and that's undeniable. Like, it's such a visceral, like, lizard brain experience of just pain and horror. Every human being would have a reaction to that of trauma. This person is not a human being. They are a demon. They have Shinigami eyes, and they don't perceive stimulus the same way we do. So whereas we saw clearly a massive loss of life and collective trauma,
they saw all the numbers of everyone's lifespan because they got the demon eyes.
He's like, oh, damn, this is going to help me make money. This is like, you remember Donald Trump? This is like, okay, yeah, exactly. Remember Donald Trump on 9/11 did that call to the news where
he's like,
hey,
my building is bigger now, right?
Yeah. This is exactly the same demon Shinigami eyes shit that he was talking about. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Trump's delivery was a little funnier.
Yeah. That's why he's the demon king, and this is just sort of a dope. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay. This one, I think this might be the last one. This one is just a all-time Hall of Fame. And a lot of these are, but like, I don't know. You can go to the Hall of Fame, and everything there is a winner, but like, you know that the Hall of Fame, like, museum curators have a room for like the ones, you know, where like
this is the flu game room.
Yes. Look, this is by Richard Dawkins, noted, quote, public intellectual. This was done in October 13th, 2013. Saw a down and out in Seattle last night. His sign said not, I need food or I need a job, but I need a fat bitch. What could this mean?
It's like, it's front and center.
Yeah, I mean, he's not speaking in riddles, sir. I would guess, and this is just my read, I wasn't there, I didn't see him. I would guess that he needs a fat bitch.
Yeah, this is the problem with academics, is that like they use too many words. Like if he wanted to write, I need a fat bitch, it would be like a paragraph, and it wouldn't be clear like what he's actually asking for.
I love what could this mean, because like it's not like I didn't get it. I like what could this mean means like he doesn't even have a guess. Like he doesn't even have theories. Like what could this mean? It's like, buddy, like you are aware that there's fat bitches around. Like, and people have needs. Like, put them together.
Yeah. Was he a plane guy? Was he an Epstein plane guy?
If not, he probably wanted to be.
I don't. We can leave that out. I don't want to like get sued by $1 million guy, a bajillion guy.
Show. Take a look. Who's that on the right?
Yeah. Okay, so we took a moment because I said, wasn't this guy in the Epstein plane? And I was like, I probably shouldn't say that because we can't confirm it. But now here's a picture.
Yeah, he's there with fucking... What's his name? What's this guy? He's there with Steven Pinker and Daniel Dennett. I don't know who Daniel Dennett is. Well, I know he's a sex creep. He's an American philosopher, writer, and cognitive scientist. Man, those people love Epstein. They can't get enough of him. He really, like, scientists couldn't keep their hands off that guy. Anyway, I need a fat bitch.
What could this mean?
I can hardly think of a more succinct way of saying, like, I don't get human no more. Like, you see a sign that says, I'm horny and want to fuck, and you're just like, I don't understand. Wouldn't you rather have a job? Also, like, it's disrespectful to this man who has the sign because he's hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a good communicator too.
yeah. Like, because think about it, like, if you are a down and out and you're on the street, you're like, well, okay, I need to make money to fucking fulfill my needs. And society isn't structured to allow me to do that easily. I have to make my own way. What am I going to do? Well, obviously your first choice, the sort of stock choice, is to beg. I need money. Give me money. It takes a real genius to see this option, the stock option, which we know works, you know, and be like, no, I'm going to... I'm a creative person. I'm not just going to go down the well-worn path. I'm not going to debase myself. I am still with my dignity, though I be down and out. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to speak my truth. I need a fat bitch.
Yeah, this is what people say when they mean speak your truth.
Yes! This is what the entrepreneurs want you to do all the time. And once they see it, they get confused because they're just like, I'm sorry, when I said speak your truth, I meant some entrepreneurial shit because that's the only thing I can conceive of. This can't be your truth because a fat bitch does not make you money. A job makes you money, sir. Don't you know? Fuck. His sign said not, I need food or I need a job. I love that he didn't say his sign didn't say. It's his sign said not.
Not, yeah. You sound like, it's like aristocrat speak. Yeah. I don't know what else to call that. That is needlessly refined syntax.
It's a branch on the same tree as the fucking fastest Mario guy, where he talks like an essay.
Yes. Although to Dawkins' credit, he actually got like those words published when he does do his little game like that. Whereas the fastest Mario guy, I think he's just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, the janglers are keeping him down. He just has to resist however he can. All right, I think that is the end now. I think we're at the end. We got no more posts in our list. We had a fun list, guys, and I'm glad we got through it. That kicked ass.
Posts.
Yeah. So we hope, hope you enjoyed your time at the zoo.
The zoo will return. The zoo always returns.
Yeah, the animals keep having zoo sex and making little baby posts.
And not to mention the other animals that just get dropped off.
Yeah. And every once in a while I'll remember a good joke that like I haven't thought of in a while. I'm like, that's a good joke. Like Teddy Graham memories. That really did just come to me as like a flash, like a bolt from the blue. And I'm like, that motherfucker, Homestar thought it was called Teddy Graham Memories. He just walked into here totally confident with his Teddy Graham story. Holy shit. All right. Thank you for listening. That's all we got for Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an Anime Sicko.
Bye-bye. See you later.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.